because it's no longer conspiracy anymore. Like he just said in the previous clip, it's no longer conspiracy. This ain't the conspiracy theories from the 90s that was walking around, people saying he crazy, don't go to this house, don't talk to this person, whatever. Now it's the people that has the power to do it saying they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's funny how
yeah,
many things that were considered conspiracy theories back then are now not only is it normal and it's known, people act like it was never a thing.
right.
You never called nobody crazy for believing this stuff, and now all this stuff is coming to pass. I've talked to my friends. And they said, "Man, you said that was gonna happen. You said this was gonna
Same
happen."
here.
I just tell you, the truth because this stuff is documented.
Right,
Like I said, George Bush Jr. Signed did some legislation with the Amero,
right,
right? A one currency for Canada, United States, and Mexico. And in this video, he's going to talk about this North American Union.
right.
And then Joe Biden just signed something into law in 2022 in connection with that. So
And then
when we were bringing these things out way back then, I said, when we were bringing these things out way back then, we were conspiracy theorists. We was crazy. And then
bro,
Barack
10
Obama
years make a
came,
difference.
what I'm saying? Nothing, you heard nothing about no Amero. No, you still haven't heard nothing about the Amero. And it might not be called the Amero when it comes out, but it's the same thing. It's a digital currency that's going to be put in place. It's going to be one currency for America, United States, America, Canada, and Mexico. It's going to be one
Right.
currency. Then it's going to be digital. And then there's going to be, they're going to have complete control. So these things are happening. And thank the Most High that we are being informed and we're aware and we can share this information. And you do with it what you will, but we're blowing the trumpet.
Right.
We're telling you. So
You,
just on a
you
side
can,
note though,
yeah.
remind me because that's something I've been wanting to do with you for a minute, man, about Billy Carson. I thought about it and I put it in a little note right there. But you remember when we did that video addressing
Yeah.
Carson, this is before a lot of people were doing. Some people were doing it, but it wasn't nowhere
Yeah.
it is now. We did that video, and it was probably the biggest video we got on or second video. I don't know, it might be
Yeah.
one on this channel. And you know how they drug us in the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was in
Then
them
your boy
comments.
got ether.
Yeah, I was in them comments, man. Going back and forth, people, back and forth, back and forth. And now almost everything we said got proven true. Everything we said he was lying about, he was incorrect about, he didn't know all the stuff we were saying now, it's been shown, it's been exposed.
Yeah.
Y'all go back and watch the video we did on Billy Carson, and then you see what's happening
Oh,
right now. Because
man.
the dude Wes Huff, he said he just I mean he may have articulated a little better. He had the actual some of the actual scripts with him, but the same stuff we were saying. This dude didn't know what he was talking about. And then, of course, you got a non-melanated person get on there and say it and make a lot more sense. It's more true, hold more weight.
Yeah.
But the fact of it is that, you can't come against the word of the Most High like that. And I wasn't against that brother. And but when you start lying on the scriptures, man, I get upset about that. I couldn't stand, but I couldn't stand it. And when my mama asked me about this dude, and I had been seeing his videos and I had been agitated with him, but when my mama asked me about that dude, I said, "Oh no, I got to expose."
Yeah.
But anyway, man,
He,
I want us to
good.
go into that because we went at the video and the stuff people said, and so I definitely want to get your response on that. But
Yeah.
I don't want to. We on a whole different thing. But I had it
Yeah.
in my mind. I want to remind you, and I want us to definitely get into that
For
at some
sure. For sure.
at some point. Um, but yeah, anything else on this thing before we go back to it?
Nah, we can get the next part.
All right.
Be great. For instance, we will be able to know instantly, with everybody getting these brain chips, instantly how even the audience is responding even now to our conversation. And this is on tape in 2017. So this is a long-term
Hmm.
plan. Now,
Reading our thoughts, basically.
exactly, because there's two systems, Jenny, that they want to bring to the planet. It's called, and I'll give you the buzzwords. And if your viewers want to go do some homework and freak themselves out, search these two terms out. The first one's called IoT, Internet of Things. The second one that a lot of people don't realize is the other side of that coin. It's called IOB, as in boy, Internet of Bodies. And this is what Klaus and the gang want to bring to the whole planet. This is part of the Antichrist kingdom they're building. It isn't just an external monitoring of all things. That's your IoT. IoT is the Internet of Things where they take microchips and they microchip everything externally. And it isn't just products and what we buy and sell, Revelation 13. It's everything. It's buildings, it's streetlights, it's cars, it's people, it's pets, it's everything. And they want to create this seamless matrix where everything externally will be monitored for your own good, especially if they shove you one of their 15-minute cities. But that's only half of it. The other one, go back to the brain chip. they want to create not just external, constant, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week surveillance on the outside of you. They want it on the inside of you. That's the internet of bodies. That's why they want people to get a microchip. Whether it be a microchip that's in your hand that gives them access to your body, whether it be swallowing a microchip, and they've already been producing pharmaceuticals with microchips in it. So they've thought this stuff out. So they want to get a microchip on the inside of you, including possibly a brain chip, because that will give them two things. One is they will be able to monitor your body in real time. And listen to how they pitch this. They said, well, Janie, wouldn't it be great if we had this internal internet of bodies, constant monitoring, just like we could do on the outside for your good, but now we got it on the inside. And so wouldn't it be great if the microchip inside your body now can tell that in about 30 minutes you're going to have a heart attack, and then we'll get the alert, we'll send an alert to your phone, and then you'll be able to rush to the hospital before it even happens. I mean, isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful? Hey, Janie, wouldn't it be great if we could get a microchip on the inside of you, and then before a pandemic busts out, we'll be able to stop it because we can tell who's starting to go down this route, and we'll shut them down or lock them down, or all that. And wouldn't that be great? And so that's bad enough. But the other thing that they are looking for is combining that with what's called nanotechnology. And with the nanotechnology, they can use this internal monitoring of our bodies and begin to genetically modify us for our good on the fly. So beyond just the monitoring inside of you with a microchip, and they could tell if you're going to have a heart attack, or they could do all this other possible things to you. Back to the brain chip. There's another side that's freaky enough as it is. But the brain chip, as Klaus admitted on tape, that it will give them the ability to literally, I'm not joking, read your thoughts. That technology is not coming. It's already here. Now, it gets worse than that. Then they freely admit they won't be able to just read your thoughts, determine if you're a dangerous person, or, and this is actually a new term that's come out. It's called predictive policing. It's like the movie years ago with Tom Cruise, Minority Report. And they had a pre-crime department where they could predict before somebody did a crime, and they would go and arrest them, but they haven't done a crime. Well, that's what they want to bring to the planet with the head chips. And they will, quote, be able to predict, well, you were just about getting ready to do something, so we came and arrested you, right? But that's bad enough. But then they admit that we could insert thoughts, we could delete thoughts, right? And then, I kid you not, I got one of the scientists on tape talking about the benefits of this, getting access to people's thoughts. And they want to also commercialize it and sell this. You're like, I'll never get a brain chip. This is nuts. Who would ever do this? Well, here's what they say. With the brain chip, and now with technology, we can again insert thoughts, including, watch this, and this is on tape, dreams. And so he envisioned very shortly what they're going to be able to do is to be able to offer a subscription-based
Netflix
brain chip service to where before you go to bed, if you have their service, then you could scroll like you're scrolling at Netflix, and not just what do I want to watch, it's what do I want to dream about tonight. And it'll become a whole industry where Hollywood and others, filmmakers, whatever, they will basically create, not movies, but they'll create dreams for you. And then before you go to bed, if you got a subscription or you pay $3.99 or whatever they're going to charge, then that will be what you dream. But I mean, wouldn't that be great? No more nightmares, and you can pick whatever you want when you're dreaming. But see, that's how they pitch it. Now, the other downside is, wait a second, you give somebody access to your thoughts. They already said they can insert thoughts that weren't there before. So how do you know what you're thinking is really even true, or is even really coming from you?
Wow.
Number two, they can delete thoughts. Now, believe it or not, they admit that one. And here's how they pitch that. Well, wouldn't it be great for like the soldiers coming back from war? We all know they suffer from PTSD. What about the people who not go to war? We all know there's another pandemic of depression out there. And if you give us access to your thoughts with these brain chips, then we could delete those depressing thoughts. We could delete those memories that are causing PTSD. And so that's literally how they're pitching it to people. But what they're also not telling you is, wait a second. So if you can, what does our brain do? Our brain basically is the computer, the thinking system that controls the rest of our body. So this is the other aspect that they're working on. I'm not joking. Remote control humans.
It's so much.
Yeah,
what you covered in there, man.
Yeah,
this dream. What I'm thinking just now.
It was about to get to the part I was going to talk about, but
Okay.
even still,
with this dream,
he mentioned it.
Yeah, we're gonna get right back to it. With this dream thing. I'm thinking like, because
Yeah.
that's the most I speak to people through dreams, and listening
Right.
to this, it make a lot more sense why in Revelation say if you take this mark, you're done. Because
Right.
why are you not able to be redeemed from this mark? What is this mark going to do? What's going to
Right.
happen? It's going to change you from God's creation. You're no longer going to be what God created. If they can alter your genes, if they could take over your mind, because this is how we connect to the most. That's how we hear from God, through our conscience.
Right.
And they're going to effectively take over your consciousness.
Right.
If they're able to do all this, and if they're able to modify your genetic makeup, this is
Right.
this is on a whole new level. So anybody who receives this mark, there's no redemption. You're done. You're cut off.
Right.
I think about those experiments they had. I don't mean to keep cutting y'all, but keep going. But I think about
No, you good. You good.
had where I don't know if it was a one of those. I don't know if it was a vaccine or something. But I know they when they were. This was I gotta go back, but they a person was reported saying I can no longer feel God. I can't.
Yeah.
God is they took God from some. They took and they were saying they were saying that the
It
people were
was an
having psychotic
experiment.
episodes, but the person was saying that they couldn't feel God. So and then we talk about I want to say it was Bill Gates who had that meeting with the FBI or CIA about the God gene and how to be able to turn off
Hmm.
that God gene. And because they've isolated something in the brain that allows the person to connect with the Most High, and they call it the God gene. And they've been trying to figure out
Right.
how to control that God gene. And they're saying was that this is how we can deal with religious extremists. If we can, get into people
Right.
turn off that God gene, then people will stop, doing extreme things in the name of God.
Excuse me, on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalist, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach.
What you're suggesting here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here, who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether I put a bullet in their head?
So the data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing, and I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan. The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will have major effects in the Middle East.
How would you suggest that this is going to be dispersed, the aerosol?
Well, so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses, such as flu or rhinoviruses, and we believe that that's a satisfactory way to get the exposure of the largest part of the population. Most of us, of course, have been exposed to both of those viruses, and we're quite confident that this will be a very successful approach.
This is fascinating. What's the name of this proposal?
Yeah, so the name of this project is FunVax, which is the vaccine for religious fundamentalism.
And you have a proposal already?
The proposal has just been submitted, and I think that the data that I have shown you today would support the development of this project, and we think it has great promise.
So,
Right.
Yeah, this
As
stuff.
if the things they doing ain't extreme.
You're right. Yeah, this stuff is happening, man. But
Keep an eye out on 96 where there's one.